Something was definitely off about you, and he noticed immediately. Your boyfriend, Kaio Takami, or Hawks as he was called in public, came home to you asleep on the couch. You hadn't even changed out of your work clothes, which was odd for you because you usually came home and took a shower before anything else. He walked towards you, careful to not wake you. Gazing down at your small figure, he crouched down so that his face was level with yours. Hawks reached forward and brushed the hair from your eyes. Baby, he cooed softly, wanting to ease you gently out of sleep. When you let out a groan and your eyes opened slightly, he gave you a soft smile. Hey, sweets, he whispered to you softly. What are you doing here on the couch? You haven't even changed out of your work clothes yet. He put his soft hand gently on your cheek, rubbing his thumb under your eye, and immediately taking note of the dark circles that resided there. Is something wrong? Letting out another groan, you pushed yourself up and rubbed your eyes. Hawks, from his crouched position on the floor, watched you sit up. I fell asleep, you mumbled, not really to yourself or to your boyfriend. He moved up to a standing position in front of you. Hey, look at me, he told you, wanting to see your face in the light. You raised your head slightly, your gaze looking to his chest instead of his face. Eyes up here, sweets, he said, bending over slightly so that your eyes met. He moved forward and pressed a hand to your forehead, which was burning up. Listener, you're so warm. He spoke softly, a worrisome expression decorating his face. He put his arm behind your back to support you, but noticing how you let your eyes fall shut again, he let his arm hold you up. Speaking softly, he moved closer, his gentle voice tickling your ears. Come here, sweets. Let's get you to the bedroom at least. You shook your head. Any movement you made only increased the nauseated feeling that bounced around in your stomach. The two of you stayed on the couch for a few moments before he spoke again. You look so damn cute. How do you do that? You just make it work, even when you're messy and sleepy. He teased you, laughing quietly. Are you ready now? He asked, more concerned than impatient. When you nodded, he got into a position. Moving forward, he scooped you into his arms, hoisting you up and carrying you to the room you shared. You dozed tenderly in his arms, your head leaning against his chest. You could faintly make out the sound of his heartbeat fluttering as you nuzzled into him. He sat you on the bed and began pulling off your shoes while you leaned against the bed frame. Arms up, he said, his hands at your waist to pull up your shirt. You put your hands on his, telling him you weren't in the mood right now. Letting out a laugh as a blush painted his cheeks, he leaned up and pressed a kiss to your forehead. That's not what I mean, baby, he smiled. I'm just helping you get out of your clothes. A bath might help you at least feel a little better. He gave you a kiss on the cheek as you held onto his shirt, not wanting him to leave. Giving you a small laugh, the winged male cupped your cheeks in his hands and gave you kisses all over your face. Only after that, you reluctantly let him go draw a warm bath for the two of you. He sat on the rim of the tub, his foot stirring the water to make sure it wasn't too hot. He kept his eyes on you through the bathroom door, making sure you were okay, despite him knowing you probably felt like shit. Once the bath was full, he lit your favorite candle and pulled his foot out of the warm water. He nearly fell over trying to dry his foot off, earning a small snicker from you, which made it totally worth it to him. He came over to you and scooped you into his arms once more, leaving small kisses on your forehead. He undressed the both of you and helped you into the tub before slipping in behind you so that you could lean into him. Tucking his wings in the best he could, he let out a deep sigh, letting them cushion his back against the slippery back of the tub so that the two of you wouldn't slide down. He massaged your scalp as he gently washed your hair. It only made you doze off even more than you already were. You were absolutely exhausted, but he was right. This helped. You had no idea how long you had dozed for, but when you woke up, Hawks was snoring behind you, and the water was only lukewarm. You turned yourself so that you could look at his face. Yep, he was definitely asleep. You smiled, laying on your side and cuddling back up to him. Your movement woke him up, however, his eyes fluttering open with a snort leaving his lips. He blinked groggily a few times, looking around as if he didn't know where he was. He then looked down at you, and your eyes met his. Before he could say anything, he let out a big yawn. The winged male then slid down in the tub slightly, covering the both of you with more water. He wrapped his arms around you, and in a groggy voice and a sleepy grin asked, How you feeling, baby? You gave him a small smile. Better. It helped, you admitted with a blush pushing its way onto your cheeks. You tried to ignore the fact that you were more awake and getting more and more flustered by the second. You're still pretty dizzy, but not as bad as before, and the nausea was still there. He watched the small smile he had managed to put on your face fall off. Letting out a small sigh, he leaned forward to give you a kiss on the cheek. "It'll be okay, baby. I've got this," he smiled, moving to get himself out and leave you in the water a little longer. You adjusted yourself so that you wouldn't slide down in his absence. He dried himself off, only pulling on a pair of light gray boxers. The winged man then helped you out of the tub, wrapping both a towel and then his arms around you, hugging you from behind. The public wouldn't even think of this, but Hawks was one of the most affectionate people you had ever met. He loved cuddles, hugs, kisses, and pretty much any sort of attention. After helping dry you off, you pulled on your underwear as he went to grab your clothes. He dug through the drawer for a while before finding whatever it was that he was looking for. "Takami?" You called out to him, walking forward and peeking out of the bathroom door and into your bedroom. He still had the towel over your shoulders, and you clutched it tight as you shivered. All you saw was a ploof of red feathers standing in front of your dresser, rummaging through your drawers. You walked up behind him, about to ask what he was doing, before he turned around with a shirt in his hands. He jumped slightly, not hearing you approach. "Oh!" A smile grew on his face. "Hey, baby." He kissed your forehead. "I grabbed your favorite shirt." He handed it to you, a cute smile on his face like he was a proud little puppy who just did something amazing for you. With tired eyes, you returned the smile, reaching up to ruffle his hair, a teasing smile coming to your face. "You mean the shirt I like stealing from you the most, right?" Laughing, Hawks responded with a yes. "Tonight is an exception, sweets," he told you, turning back around to close the drawer. He watched you struggle to get the oversized black shirt over your head and onto your small frame. He watched for a few moments, seeing if you could do it yourself, before pulling it down over your head and helping you slip your arms in. You turned away, slightly embarrassed. When he asked what was wrong, you told him you felt humiliated that he had to help you with something as simple as putting on a shirt. He cupped your face in his hands and smiled at you. Hey, you look at me. Look at me, baby. I love you, okay? You know that. You should also know that I would do anything for you." He brought his face close to yours and let your foreheads touch, his eyes closed as he continued with a whisper. "Anything at all." He gave you another kiss on the forehead before pulling away. "Now come on, baby. Let's get you to bed." The winged man walked to his side of the king-sized bed and crawled in, laying his wing across the entire thing. His head was propped up on his hand. You knew what he was doing. "Takami," you smiled. You knew laying on his wing sometimes made him uncomfortable, and that almost nobody was even allowed to touch them. But here he was, offering to let you lay on it to cuddle with him so that he could lull you to sleep. You would never openly admit it, but he spoiled you. The shirt he had on you brushed against your knees as you walked to the open side of the bed. Eagerly, you climbed beside him, careful to not accidentally hurt him. Curled up close to him, you let out a giggle as his other wing wrapped around you like a blanket, tickling your bare legs. The winged male gave you a soft smile. "Comfy?" he asked, pulling his arms around you. You nodded, nuzzling into his bare chest. The scent of fresh rain filled your senses as you breathed in. He pulled you close, covering the both of you in the sheets, then the top quilt of the bed you shared. You were already beginning to doze in his arms. "I'll make you your favorite breakfast in the morning, okay, baby?" He kissed the top of your head gently. "How does French toast sound?" He let out a sleepy groan, adjusting himself to a more comfortable position. "My treat." He closed his eyes as he pulled you closer, one arm around your waist and one running up your back so that his fingers were tangled in your soft hair. "I love you," was the last thing you heard him mumble before his soft breathing lulled you to sleep. Hey guys, it's Maru. So originally this audio was going to be for an entirely different prompt that was requested by my best friend. So that audio will hopefully be out sometime within the next 2 or 3 audios, depending on when I can get to it and when I have motivation to actually do it. But, yeah, so it was originally going to be that, but then she got sick, so I was like, same character, but make it a comfort audio. So that's what we got today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And, if you know me personally, I swear to God, do not text me or call me while I'm recording. Yes, Fish, I am talking to you, because you called me when I was uploading it to my editing software, and I lost the entire thing and had to re-record because I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the audio recovered. So, don't do that. Well, for everybody else who watched and listened, Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed. So, see y'all later. Bye.